Welcome on in to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com. I hope all is well, and I thank you for taking the time to look at this video. Do want to give you some of my raw thoughts from November the 21st of 2016, and these thoughts are in no particular order. And as always, I welcome your thoughts and your comments down below. Check out my other two channels, the Tom Brand 1 and Tom Brand 1 Thoughts. Raw thoughts, no particular order. Very first segment to get the crowd buzzing, Goldberg comes out. And Goldberg says, that he thanks his wife, he thanks his kid for letting him be the superhero that he always wanted to be again. And he teased, that was his last match. But then he said, as he was going to the back, Stephanie said, "Goldberg, do you have one last title run in you?" And it begins at the Royal Rumble. And guess what? Goldberg has been officially named the first entrant of the Royal Rumble. Man, Toronto loved that Goldberg. They loved Goldberg. Chanting him left and right on Raw last night and Survivor Series. And it's funny. It's funny. These wrestling fans, they boo a guy like Roman Reigns who paid his dues. Been on the indies for a while, trained, been busting his butt for X amount of years already with the company. Meanwhile, and they boo him because, he's getting a push. Meanwhile, a guy like Goldberg, who these wrestling fans, the smart marks, so to speak, a guy who came up in the power plant, short amount of time, then went on to the main stage. His matches typically lasted for about 3 minutes, in which he would squash guys. That was the average Goldberg match. Came to the WWE for a cup of coffee. Has been gone for 12 years. Shitted on wrestling in the interim. He returns, gets put in the main event, and the crowd goes apeshit crazy. Meanwhile, a guy like Roman Reigns just gets booed because, quote unquote, he's being shoved down fans' throat. I just don't understand that. I don't understand the thinking of some wrestling fans. And, it obviously, I was expecting, as my eye continues to itch, I was expecting some type of mention of Lesnar or Paul Heyman come out, explain the performance from last night at Survivor Series, in which the match only lasted 90 seconds, but we didn't even have no mention of that. And so there you have it. Goldberg will be at the Royal Rumble, first entrant. It just amazes me how fans just cheer Goldberg and boo Roman Reigns. Nonetheless, his physique, so he still looked the same. You might even say that he looked in better condition than Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. Enzo, there are very few guys that could be entertaining in the ring, be able to cut a promo, be able to do these sketches, these skits, and that's what Enzo Amore is able to do. This guy, a funny backstage segment where where he's naked there, and Lana staring at the goods, and Rusev comes out. They have an interaction. Funny sketch. Enzo is going on the mic. He has a match with Rusev, and it was a squash match. Now I don't think really anything of it. In the sense of, you got to put out Enzo and Cass out there because they get a reaction. One of the few guys that get a reaction consistently. You got to throw them out. They really have nothing for them. I think they're really, as far as Enzo and Cass, kind of hold off and just make a real big push, for WrestleMania. As far as these guys, so right now they're just putting him out there. That way they'd be on TV. And that's all right. Enzo's suffering the loss. Doesn't really matter. The crowd still loves him. The Queen Bee, Charlotte. She is the Queen Bee. She's really coming into her own, and that goes in and week out. And you had a confrontation with Mia Jack and Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks cut a promo in which the promo actually sounded different. You notice a Sasha Banks promo, pretty much all of it sounds the same. Week in and week out, she's saying about how her favorite wrestler is Eddie Guerrero, how she wanted to be a champion all her life, so on and so forth. And it's always the same promo. This week, it was a promo where it was a little bit more arrogant, Sasha Banks, and I think her promos sounds better where she, kind of has like a heelish promo, arrogant sense of arrogance in her promo. Comes off better than the promo that she cuts every single week, which is, it's just... Listen to her promos. Week in and week out, it's always the same thing with Sasha Banks. But this week had a good promo. Mia Jax, I don't know. What can I say, really? She doesn't come off as intimidating. Maybe because she looks good in the face. She's not a bad-looking girl. Maybe it's the music. Her entrance theme. It's not really helping her. The entrance theme is not one that you associate with a badass. It really doesn't help her. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Mia Jack is a tall, intimidating person, you would think, just by height alone. But to me, she doesn't seem intimidating. You gotta change the entrance music. You gotta do something. If they're gonna feud with Sasha Banks and Mia Jax, Sasha Banks has to get the crap knocked out of her. I think there's something missing with Mia Jack. They really, and Mia Jack, I think, I don't know. She's supposed to be this heel. She should be a heel that really goes after everyone. Why is she all chummy with Charlotte in that segment? Why is Mia Jack's promo like a bitch please type of promo? You know what I mean? It's not like a shut up, I'm gonna kick your ass. It's like a bitch please, like a promo from like a high school. If you're in high school drama between two girls, something that's missing with Mia Jackson. I don't know. I just I'm just, she's supposed to be intimidating. WWE wants you to believe that she's intimidating, but it just doesn't come across that way to me. I don't know about you guys. The something I don't understand here. Braun Strowman knocked the crap out of Sami Zayn. I have no problem with that because I'm not the biggest Sami Zayn fan. But things that common sense things to me that really don't, that something that doesn't make sense to me. Mick Foley gave Sami Zayn a match with Braun Strowman as punishment for Sami Zayn not winning the title. Meanwhile, you have Team Raw that lost to SmackDown. And you're not punishing Team Raw. Rather, being that there were 4 or 5 of them, rather, Seth Rollins getting title opportunity. It doesn't make sense to me how one guy is punished and not the group of 4 or 5 of these individuals. I believe it was 5, but not the 5 individuals that lost for Team Raw versus SmackDown. But poor Sami Zayn is getting the brunt of it. Doesn't make sense to me. Little things that matter. That last match, the main event, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns can't interfere, barred from ringside, and so is Chris Jericho. And the stipulation is Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, again, barred from ringside, no DQ. So what happens as Jericho is the gift that keeps on giving, my friends. He's in a Sin Cara mask. Obviously trolling Sin Cara after the altercation that they apparently had a couple weeks ago was in the dirt sheets. But something that doesn't make sense to me. Why are you barring Chris Jericho or Roman Reigns from ringside if this is a no DQ? Can you tell me? But Chris Jericho, man, he is gold. He's gold. And in wrestling before, we've seen sidekicks playing an important part. Chris Jericho is a sidekick. Okay? Good sidekick to Kevin Owens, who, Kevin Owens are able to bounce off of each other. If Kevin Owens were to lose Chris Jericho as his sidekick right now, I think that would affect him deeply. I think Kevin Owens would lose a lot by losing Chris Jericho in storyline. Like the the interaction that these two had again, it was gold. It was gold. And last thing that I'll leave you off in, Cesaro and Sheamus lose to New Day. Sheamus I could give 2 craps about. I'm tired of Sheamus. But Cesaro, this team again gets screwed by New Day. And Cesaro, he's going to go down. Cesaro can't win a title. But he's going to go down years from now, after he's long gone. And remember, Cesaro is not that young anymore. Years from now, it's going to go down, and Cesaro was a guy that was underutilized. Underestimated. For whatever reason, WWE just really has no confidence in Cesaro. Forget about him being heavyweight champion. No confidence in him being an intercontinental champion, a U.S. champion, even a tag champion. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.